Toby, start with a little bit of the backstory. So, Bronx, Brooklyn?
No, I'm from Orange, New Jersey.
Sorry. We all think of that whole area as all the same.
Yeah.
But then a couple years at Duquesne and then moved. So, has it been hard to move from school to school? And then ultimately, why West Virginia this last time around?
Of course, it's always hard to move places because you miss your friends and stuff like that. But inevitably, like, I knew what was best for me and that to sacrifice what I needed to do for my career. For me coming here, it was a little bit easier adjustment just because it's like only an hour from Pittsburgh. So I was a little bit familiar with the area. So like I felt comfortable when I came here.
You were familiar with Darren and I'm sure Tucker as well because you guys played in the same conference. So
Yeah.
how much, when you started to look for a new school, how quickly did you focus in on them? Did you like them when you competed against them? Or was it there's a rivalry there? How'd that work and why'd you ultimately want to come here?
I was always a fan of how Drake played. They're a well-coached team, and that we've had battles over the years. So, like for me, during my process of choosing the school, when Coach reached out to me, it was kind of like a no-brainer just because I had mutual respect for him and his son, and the relationship I built with Tucker. So it just made sense for me to come here and make something happen with them.
So many newcomers. Is it hard to blend?
I mean, maybe at first, maybe like the first few weeks, but when you actually start spending time with them and off the court, because off the court is really what gels the chemistry, honestly, because in college basketball, it's better to like your teammates. It's not professional yet, but the more you like your teammates, the more you gel with them on the court and you understand and how to talk to them.
We were asking Tucker earlier about running the law school hill. Your thoughts? When you first saw that hill, I mean, what was going through your mind there?
My thoughts on when I first saw the hill, I saw it with the football team when they ran it, like a little video, and we got the word that we were going to be running it for the first time, and I was just like, whoa, okay. I am used to hills, like hill running back at home, but it was just a little adjustment like got me by storm. I thought we were going to be just running on the court a whole lot or just being on the field. But, yeah, that hill is very much like it gets you. It gets you fast.
First time's easy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Second time, third time?
Oh, yeah. By the time you come down from your first three, you're going to feel the rest of it for the rest of the day.
Coach, like back in the summer before you guys were getting ready to go to Italy, described you as a versatile defender. Your definition of a versatile defender, and do you think you are one?
I definitely think I am a versatile defender. For what that meaning for me is just knowing when to switch onto smaller guards, bigger guards, maybe having to bang with a little bit with the post guys, which is like what I do. I'm just here to help and to use my athleticism and my versatility and my long arms to distract and for us to get an extra possession on the other end.
So if you switch off on a two guard, for example, you're obviously going to have the size, but he's going to be quicker. If you switch off on a 4 or 5, okay, you're going to have the speed and athleticism, but they're obviously going to be bigger. So what's the secret there? And I don't know, what do you prefer? You probably prefer like the little guy, right?
I wouldn't say I prefer either one. It's just that I think I'm comfortable like the way I've played basketball. These last few years, like joining college basketball, it was instilled in me to guard every single position like it's supposed to be normal. So like I give credit to the strength coaches getting me ready just because I'm strong enough and I'm fast enough to guard either position. So like that was very much comfortable for me.
I was kind of curious. I mean, you guys are all kind of joining the Big 12 together at the same time. It's obviously, on paper, when you look at the preseason rankings, there's, 4 teams in the top 10 or 5 in the top 10 or 6 in the top 15 or that's obviously got to catch your guys' interest. I mean, at least a little bit. I mean, have you guys even kind of started taking a look at that yet, or even like individually, like, oh my goodness, there's we got this team and this team and this team over here. Anything like that at all? Or?
No, I don't think so from my team, from this team right here. I think that we're hard workers, so we just put our head down and we're not worried about what the outside says about us. Obviously, people are going to say that, yeah, we put together a class, but they don't know if we can win. So that's for their opinion, and we have our own, and we have the actions to change their opinion. So that's how we go about it.
So, I mean, in theory, there could come a part of the schedule where you're going to play 3, 4, maybe 5 ranked teams in a row. I don't know if that's ever really happened. I mean, so what would that? I mean, that would be a totally different new situation for a lot of guys. So what would that be like, do you think? I mean,
for me, and for our team, I think that we just go one game at a time. I think overseeing another team or seeing that we have someone else on the back end of a road trip doesn't give the respect to the team that we're actually playing. And we're not like that. The way we go about practicing and the way coach drills us is just one drill at a time, one play at a time. Like we're not overstepping. We're not looking towards the end of practice. We're looking towards the next drill and what's the next play.
Key is to not get overwhelmed.
Exactly.
Toby, way back in the day, back when I was in high school, we beat West Orange in football. Just want you to know that right off the top. I got my ass kicked, but we did win the game. Anyway, what do you think are the expectations that people should have of this team looking at it? And what kind of expectations do you guys have?
I feel that the expectations for this team is just to keep an open mind of us, regardless of what the media says right now. We have a whole lot of basketball to play ahead of us, and it's October. Just keep an open mind of us and don't be closed off just because of the past. We're here to win, and we're not here to win later. This team is built with a lot of seniors and fifth years and with a mixer of freshmen ready to win now.
Growing up, you're in a metro area, played your college ball, 2 metro areas. So was coming here, was that part of a conscious decision, looking for something a little more laid back, or was it more all about the team and the coaching staff?
For me, I'm a city kid. I grew up big cities. So honestly, it wasn't very much of a hard adjustment coming here because I'm more of a laid back person anyway. But what drew me here is just that the chemistry I had with the coach. I had the same chemistry with my former coach. And just I thrive off of having a mutual respect for my teammates and the coaches as well, and just seeing what they do and how well they do it, and just seeing how composed they are on the sideline.
How different is this style compared to the others that you've played, and hardest thing to adjust to, maybe the easiest thing to adjust to?
I'll probably say that the hardest thing to adjust to is how easy the game comes to you when you do the small things. Coach preaches on the small things, and it's very much an NBA offense because when it comes to the NBA, it's very much the simple things that kill you. And just drilling that every day, that your little habits of how you screen and how you cut with pace really just opens up an open shot. And that is not really a dribble move that you need to do, that you just maybe just need to pass it. That's how simple the adjustment has been from my last schools to here.
When you played Drake in the past, you thought they were well coached. What characteristics do you remember from those teams?
Just a well organized team. A team that honestly was never flustered about the moment, about being down. Him as a coach, I've seen him multiple times. He gets animated, but he's very much cool and relaxed after he has his moment. And as a player and as an opponent, seeing that is just like they won because he understands that his players are going to respond and that they're built for the moment.
Kind of on that note, then, Coach was just telling us he's never received a technical before. So, based on what you just said, you wouldn't be surprised by that, I'm assuming, right?
If he got one?
That he hasn't.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. But if he gets one, he gets one. But they probably caught him on a bad moment. But they probably got him on a bad moment. But he is very much animated, like in practice, and like I think that he's very much well composed. And when it comes to practice, just because he understands that he did all the teaching in practice, and this whole summer that he knows that we are prepared and that we play our best when we're way more relaxed.
His reputation as a defender, but how has your offensive game kind of changed over the years? I know you're shooting like more threes, or
For me, it was just my first 2 years was kind of like a growing pain for me, just coming out of just being a defender and just being a long athletic wing. I took my 2 years to University of Illinois Chicago, where I got to expand my game. Like I was a little, like for me, I like to like grade my 2 years there as my first 2 years of college basketball, of complete college basketball. I've developed the 3-point game a little bit more, my handle and just my playmaking. It's very much underrated, but at the same time, whatever the numbers say, it doesn't define me as a player, just because like I understand that my path isn't someone else's path, and that this year's the year for me to put it all together and help the team do as much as possible.
you know, when you kind of look at things on paper, and obviously the basketball game's not played on paper, but it seems like the roster, like everyone's just going to shoot a bunch of threes. But that's probably, there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not exactly like, okay, we're just going to go out and shoot 30 threes a game. I mean, what are the differences? And then, I mean, threes are a big thing, but it's not going to be everything, it doesn't sound like.
Yeah, we have the advantage of having multiple people that can put the ball in the basket, especially from three. But we do have the availability and the talent to put it on the floor and get to the rim and get to the free throw line. Like, we are a team that if it's a good shot, take it. If it's not a good shot, then move it, find the best shot. Because at the end of the day, we can all drive it. We can all put it on the floor and get to the rim as well. And as well, we have finishers at the rim too. So
What do you think would be like the comfortable number of 3 attempts as a team? Like when you look at the box score at the end of the game and, okay, well, we didn't take enough, or maybe we took too many. Like, where's that middle line, I guess?
I really don't know, just because it's hard to tell, just because we're a team that, like, we play off of your mistakes, and that if you don't want to close out to somebody, especially someone that's been in the gym all summer doing 2-3 workouts a day and has the confidence of a coach of not looking over his shoulder, then you might be looking at 15-plus threes, or you might see a team that wants to take away our three, and then we're just going to drive them and get to the free throw line and look for the extra pass.
So you faced Tucker a couple times together. So what's he like? And if memory serves, my memory can be faulty, one of your best games was against him. So do you guys still talk about that? Reflect on that game and then him as a whole.
That game was fun. It was my senior day. I mean, they're number 1 in the conference, and we just feel that, like, unfortunately, my last school's record didn't reflect how good of a talent we were, but we just went into that game just thinking, why not just knock off the number 1 team on this day. It was a good game.
Do you remember?
I had 31.
Okay.
But Tucker did have a good game as well. So like, it was a fun game. I have nothing but respect for Tucker. Just like, even since I came into that league. Like it's always been a mutual respect, not like a crazy rivalry, but like someone I know that's in the gym just as much as I am, and that wants it just as bad as I do. So,
What's he like as a player? What's he do well?
as a player, he's lights out shooter. Like at 6'8", 6'7", like you see, like you can't really find someone that does that a whole lot in college basketball, and that he's a good passer and he's a good teammate. Like he understands the screening angles. He understands to get off the ball. He understands that he does need his teammates to win, and that helps him. Like he's very much selfless.
You mentioned the offense here has some NBA kind of concepts, things like that. And do you watch the NBA much, and do you ever see something and say, hey, we run something like that, or that looks like what this offense might be like?
Yeah, most definitely. I watch it a lot, especially since I went through the process this last spring and going through that whole process. Our offense is very much, it emulates the NBA offense and the spacing and knowing when to cut and knowing when to like drill the corners. So for the most part, it has a lot of similarities of what most NBA teams do, which works and is very simplistic, but at the same time methodical in how they're ran.
You mentioned your time at Duquesne. So how much did you follow West Virginia during that period? How much did you know about West Virginia prior to coming here?
I knew a little bit about West Virginia because they used to be in the Big East, and my mentor was the point guard at Pittsburgh. So like me growing up, I always watched him like play West Virginia. Yeah.
Who was it?
Ashton Gibbs. so I always watched them growing up. I knew that they were always a hard-nosed, pick you up full court team, and regardless of your lead, is going to go down to 5 points at the end of the game because they're going to press you the whole game, and you're going to get tired of it eventually.
So when you told Ashton you're coming here, what was his reaction? Did he say, "Oh no, not there," or what did he say?
I mean, he was happy for me because he knows that like so much I've been through. So like, he's not gonna say anything about that. Like, he understands that like when we play them, he's not rooting for me. He's rooting for me a little bit, but he's not rooting for me. He's rooting for Pitt because of the rivalry. But yeah.
Will he come in and see you play?
Yeah, he will. He will be.
You guys play up there this year.
Yeah.
So.
You say he was a mentor. Was he a coach in high school for you? Or?
No, him and his brothers, they went to school in West Orange. They went to Seton Hall Prep, and they went to school with my older brother. So for me, it was just like the Gibbs brothers. I just always looked up to them. Like I always watched their games wherever they went. Like I kept track of them, and they were friends with my older brother. So it was just like I have another brother that's going to help me be coached in college. So that's really why I went there.
Toby, thank you.
Of course, thank you.